Good morning, televiewers on Media Prime Television, and thank you so much for joining us on this last edition of The Brief, live on My Media Prime Television, a program where we always get to dig several layers beneath the major headlines as captured by newspapers. On today's edition of the program, we will be focusing on two major headlines. The encounter between Cameroon and Switzerland yesterday that ended with Switzerland defeating Cameroon by 1-0. And of course, the lone goal was scored by Cameroonian-born Embolo. We shall talk about that this morning. Our lines are open and we shall be receiving calls to talk about what needed to have been done for Lions to win. That was not done, and what needs to be done for us to win the next match against Serbia. We shall be analyzing that. And the budget for 2023, the bill was tabled in Parliament yesterday, and it is revealed, or it was revealed that there has been an increase of over 256 billion francs CFA for this session, or the 2023 budget, as per the bill that was tabled in Parliament yesterday. We shall dwell on these two major headlines. Let's find out what the French newspapers gather for us this morning with Gwladys Bomotonguina. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour à toi Lasha. Bonjour à vous fidèles téléspectateurs de My Media Prime Télévision. C'est la dernière édition de la semaine de débrief, votre émission bilingue de revue de presse. Alors ce matin, nous allons débuter avec l'info à chaud. Effectivement, l'info à chaud ce matin nous parle en grand titre de la rencontre Cameroun-Suisse. Le journal ce matin nous parle ici d'Embolo. Il se pose la question. Unique buteur face à l'équipe de son pays d'origine, Bril Embolo, est donc mangé dans toutes les sauces. Réaction à chaud de l'ambassadeur suisse au Cameroun. C'est dans cette édition de l'info à chaud, mesdames, messieurs, à sa page 11. Dans le même journal, en page 4, le journal nous parle de grâce à la fondation Main dans la main. Un ancien clando sort donc du maquis. Nous restons dans le même journal, toujours en page 4. Le journal nous parle d'ambition politique. Vous parlez ici de la GDC qui vise donc 30 postes de sénateurs. Nous continuons, mesdames, messieurs, ce matin avec Émergence Quotidien. Émergence Quotidien ce matin parle en grand titre de la défaite des Lions indomptables. Le journal nous révèle ce matin en page 11 que les Lions indomptables peuvent faire mieux. Mesdames, messieurs, toujours dans le même journal en page 7, le journal nous parle de l'affaire Comessi. Les ex-épargnants forment donc un collectif. En page 2, le journal nous parle de recettes fiscales. Le Cameroun essaie donc de limiter les pertes dues à la digitalisation de l'économie. En page 4, le journal nous parle de la société immobilière du Cameroun. Le bilan, tout sur le bilan de la société immobilière du Cameroun. C'est dans cette édition d'Émergence Quotidien à sa page 4. Nous poursuivons, mesdames, messieurs, ce matin avec Mutation Quotidien. Mutation Quotidien, lui aussi en grand titre, parle du match Cameroun-Suisse. Suisse 1, Cameroun 0, dégonflé à bloc. C'est du moins le grand titre ce matin de Mutation Quotidien. Domination en première mi-temps. Les Lions indomptables ont plié les Chines en seconde marche après un but de Brel Embolo. Les réactions et les leçons, c'est dans cette édition de Mutation Quotidien à sa page 15. En page 7, le journal nous parle de loi de finances 2022-2023. La vie sera donc plus chère en 2023 selon la loi de finances qui a été publiée récemment. Les détails sont donc en page 7 de Mutation Quotidien ce matin. Mesdames, messieurs, nous clôturons avec l'économie quotidien. Ce matin, nous parle en grand titre de l'emprunt obligataire 2018-2023. Un peu plus de 186 milliards de francs CFA remboursés par l'État camerounais. Les détails sont donc en page 5. En page 3, autant pour moi, de l'économie quotidien ce matin. En page 2, le journal nous parle de 2023. Le Cameroun table donc sur le budget de 6 345,1 milliards de francs CFA. C'est ce qui ressort donc du budget de loi de finances déposé hier, le 24 novembre 2022, à l'Assemblée nationale. Nous restons dans le même journal à sa page 6. Le journal nous parle de Music Star 2022. Le vainqueur Brice Kemboué remporte donc 5 milliards de francs CFA. En page 5, le journal nous parle d'Afrique, un financement de la BAD pour le développement des énergies renouvelables. Mesdames, Messieurs, voilà pour vos titres ce matin en langue française. Place à la découverte de ces titres en langue anglaise avec toi, Lasha.
Thank you, Gwladys Bomotonguina. Let's kickstart this morning with the National Bilingual Daily Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune is taking us to the National Assembly to talk about the finance bill that was tabled yesterday at the level of Parliament. And of course, the 2023 finance bill was tabled yesterday, and there was an increase of 265 billion francs CFA for the budget of 2023 compared to the current budget in execution. And of course, the budget stands at 6,345.1 billion francs CFA. Get full details on the bill in this edition of Cameroon Tribune that you can find on newspapers kiosk this morning in the country. FIFA World Cup 2022 timid starts for the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. The national football team of Cameroon lost 0-1 to Switzerland in their first group game yesterday, November 24, 2022, at the ongoing World Cup competition in Qatar. From the defeat, the wait for the first World Cup victory continues to be long for Cameroonians. The Lions will play their second game on November 28 against Serbia. Read the focus of Cameroon Tribune on the preparations of the next match between Serbia in this edition of the Set newspaper. On to the Guardian Post. The Guardian Post is interested in the match yesterday between Switzerland and Cameroon in the first outing at Qatar World Cup. Cameroonian-born Embolo crucifies Lions. The paper tells us further that in what analysts have termed crucifixion of his country of birth in the opening game of Group G at the Qatar World Cup, Swiss striker Bril Embolo scored the lone goal of the match against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon yesterday. The 25-year-old Embolo, born in Yaoundé, the political capital of Cameroon, got the only goal of the encounter 3 minutes into the second half at the Al Jano Stadium over there in Qatar. The win secured a vital 3 points for Switzerland in a group that includes tournament favorites Brazil and Serbia. Cameroon coach Rigobert Bahana, who played at 4 World Cups, opted for the inform Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting to lead the attack in place of usual captain Vincent Aboubakar. Get full details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper that you can find on newspapers kiosk this morning in the country. On to the Horizon newspaper. The Horizon is taking us to the National Assembly to talk about Louis-Paul Mutaze, who faced members of parliament recently concerning ligne 65 and ligne 94 of the budget. Mutaze, according to the paper, takes MPs off guard. He was responding to questions asked him by 2 MPs of the opposition political parties in the country, notably Jean-Michel Nincho of the Social Democratic Front Party and the Honorable Cabral Libi of the PCRN political party. We end this morning with Magazine Africa by Amy Empire, being led by Dr. Eris Merindinga. This volume 1 focuses on the benefits of thought leadership for entrepreneurial development, leadership in times of crisis, and the 10 vital lessons from Africa's business leaders. About the Amy Empire, it is an organization which has stakes in the agriculture, media, beauty, fashion, and coaching sectors. It was founded by Dr. Eris Merindinga with a main aim to inspire generations to become better versions of themselves by investing into personal development and entrepreneurship. Philanthropy is also at the core of the empire, as giving back to the society is their calling. Amy Empire works to change mindsets and to influence positive change in people's lives in particular and the society as a whole. Thank you for watching, televiewers of My Media Prime Television. We are welcoming sports lady Macdella Eyong, who is joining us in the studio this morning. We are talking football this morning. Good morning, Macdella.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha. Good morning, Gwladys. Good morning to you, all televiewers of My Media Prime TV. We all know that it's coming to you live from the country's economic capital city, Douala. And I am pleased to join Lasha and Gwladys on today's edition of The Brief to talk sports. We actually want to give you a recap of yesterday's game and everything there is to know about the game. We all know that it it's been a disappointing start of the 2022 FIFA World Cup because Cameroon has been looking for a victory since 2002, where they last defeated South Korea. That was a game, Saudi Arabia, rather. That was a game where Samuel Eto'o scored the lone goal. And since then, Cameroon has not won any game in the World Cup. And that is why we want to get your reactions after watching yesterday's game. How disappointed are you? But like the Horizon newspaper said, Cameroon is down, but it's not out because Cameroon still has hope. And they have 2 games again to go, Mr. Lasha. They have to. They have Serbia and Brazil. So they may end up picking up.
They're the favorite. They are talking about.
We are talking about the favorites of the team, but at least Cameroon is not the last on the pool. Cameroon is the third, and then if Cameroon has to beat Brazil, anyways, everything right now will matter only on if because.
Macdella, let's talk about the match of yesterday.
Okay.
What went wrong?
Well, if I'll have to give my own analysis as maybe someone who watched the game, who actually saw the game, I think that the game lacked, should I say finishing in the second half, something like that, because there was this thing of maybe the coach did not read the game before doing a substitution, because it brought a lot of controversy when you remove your marksman of the game. We are talking about Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, who was actually the playmaker of the game, who was a builder of the game, the organizer of the game. Yesterday, he was substituted. And we Cameroonians asked the question, why did the coach not change his 4-4-3 formation to a 4-4-2?
C'était réellement Choupo-Moting qui était le formateur du jeu. C'était pas par exemple Anguissa?
Zambo Anguissa is the distributor of the game. He's the one to organize the game quite all right. But when we say the coordinator of the game is Choupo-Moting, we realize that Bomo and Choupo-Moting are the ones who actually who mounted pressure on the Switzerland side in the striking compartment of the game. So yesterday, to do a substitution like that without giving it a think is what actually killed the game. I think so, because Choupo-Moting was not to be left out at that point in time. We know that if Vincent Abubakar, who is the captain, was supposed to be brought in, maybe the coach could have thought of changing his formation by using a 4-4-2 formation.
Et dans ce cas, on devait donner le brassard à qui?
No, it's normal for you to give it to Abubakar. He's the captain of the team.
Okay.
So yeah, he's the captain of the team does not mean that at this point in time we know that Choupo-Moting is more performance.
What do you think of this school of thought who are of the opinion that the referee actually demoralized the national team by not being fair during the first half of the yes, the first half of the competition.
We saw two opportunities where maybe we cried foul, where we could have a penalty. Well, I think that the referee's decision is fine now, and as it stands, it has already happened. But then there was a worry. Cameroonians, the issue with Carl Toko Kambi, where Cameroonians cried foul, saying it was a penalty or we deserved a penalty. Thing is, the VAR did not even call. So if VAR did not call, it means that the VAR was in accordance with the referee's decision.
So all of them were blind?
Exactly. Okay. So it means that they were in accordance with the referee. So the VAR says, if the referee, since the VAR did not call, it means that the referee's decision was final. And there the 2 opportunities there on foul on Maxime in the box and foul on Toko in the box will still not give us a penalty.
We want to remind our televiewers that they can actually call. You can actually call the numbers that you see on the screen. You can actually call those numbers that you see on the screen to participate live on the program and give your opinion on what you think about the match of yesterday, because I know emotions are still high. Many people are still angry probably at the coach and some players that they feel would have started the match or would have remained in the game throughout.
Effectivement, Macdella, on est au niveau où on a en face de nous Mbolo, tout le monde jette la pierre sur ce jeune homme. Qu'aurait-il pu faire en même temps?
Let him spare Mbolo some credit. Let's leave the guy.
Scoring against his
yes, we all know that it
control,
hurts. It hurts so much. But if we look at it, Mbolo did not even celebrate that goal. He did not celebrate the goal. It's very obvious that if we have to...
Apparently, we have somebody already on the line.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, good morning and welcome to the program. Hello? Yes, Macdella.
All right. Talking about Mbolo, we know that it hurts scoring against his motherland. he's a Cameroonian by birth, but then he chose to represent Switzerland. According to reports, Embolo has always been out of Switzerland, out of Cameroon. He has been in Switzerland since he was a lad. He was a little boy.
At the age of 5 or 6.
Exactly, at the age of 5, 6, when his mother brought him to Switzerland, and there she started life, and then it's not his fault that he chose to represent the Switzerland nation.
Okay. Hello, good morning and welcome to the program. Can you hear us? Please switch the receiver. Hello. Yes, good morning and welcome to the program.
Hello.
Can you switch off the receiver where you are getting off the return? Yes. Yes. Can you hear us now? Yes, go on. Your contribution. Your contribution, please.
Nous vous écoutons. Votre nom et votre contribution, s'il vous plaît.
Maybe the technician who should work on the lines, and we just want to remind you that when you call us, switch off all other devices around you and you listen to us directly from the device that you're using to call us. That way we'll be able to get what you're saying and you not listening to your voice when you speak. Yeah, Macdella, like you were saying, many people are complaining that he was not supposed to score the goal.
No.
Is it his fault?
Never. It can definitely not be his fault. He is a player and he plays against Cameroon. You cannot expect...
Yes, hello, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, your contribution. We are talking football this morning. The game yesterday, the emotions are still very high.
Yes, thanks for welcoming me. That woman was saying something which is the reality because Choupo-Moting was the master of the game, so he was not supposed to remove out of the team. And one thing I realized is that most of the Cameroon players, instead of playing forward, most of their ball, they were even doing cut back, or we got cut back, would have brought them into danger. I saw where one Cameroonian would have even score a goal against their own side. So I don't know how we can get contact with those people. Even the captain of the game was supposed to enter the field before the starting of the match. So the match that they played yesterday, everybody was angry. So they should stop playing behind the back, and they were lack of most of the passing. So that's all I saw about the match. So let them correct their mistakes before the next game.
Okay.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you for participating.
Exactly.
Sir.
I think that this Teleview has just said now, his contribution really counts because Cameroon, as it stands now, if we have to stay in course in the competition, if we have to think of cross-passing the group stage, then it means that the coach really needs to go back to the drawing board and see how they can amend their ways. And please, we should not keep putting the fault on Embolo. It's not his fault. He doesn't play for Cameroon. It was not an own goal. He plays...
Yes, there's another caller on the line. Yes, good morning and welcome, sir.
My proposal is that the substitution of the people was an error made by the coach because the Abubakar is not up to date a level of the World Cup competition. It's an African player, not a professional that we can start and see.
Okay, that's our opinion. Thank you for contributing. Macdella, and let's move on.
All right, we are still on the case of Embolo, and what I just have to say is that how is it Embolo's fault? He does not play for Cameroon, he plays for Switzerland, and he chose to represent Switzerland. Let's forget about rumors saying that his mother says,
probably
he's Cameroonian, but he chose. We have so many Cameroonians who are playing out of the country.
In the diaspora
it depends, Mr. Lasha. They have been making attempts on getting Cameroonians, like they made attempts on getting Yusufa Mukoko, who actually denied to come to Cameroon. They are pressing. He's the one who chose to. He made his choice because Brian Bemo. We have two people who just switched allegiance. There's Brian Bemo who decided to represent Cameroon before the World Cup and he was chosen. There is Judges Kevin Kudu who actually switched allegiance. So I don't think if he had switched his allegiance, he had chosen Switzerland ever since because he grew up in Switzerland. But if he had chosen to represent the nation, then I think that he may have been spotted out and was given may have been given a chance.
Okay.
So it's nobody's fault that he chose to represent Switzerland. And I say fortunately or unfortunately,
there's another caller on the line. Good morning and welcome, sir. Madam.
Good morning, Chief. We're in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your contributions?
Yes, good morning to you in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I want to say about the player, the Cameroon player that scored, is one thing that we Cameroon we need to learn. You can never buy the figure that fits you. And I'm still praying that the Cameroon team, they should really cooperate themselves and focus on the match. Because I observed one player, when he was removed, and one of the coach was trying to greet him, he ignored. So it still shows that there is something in the Lions there. So they should be very focused and take away some certain things and focus on the game.
So how do you rate the playing style of the Lions?
The coach really need to focus himself. Yes, what they were talking about the changing of Choupo-Moting. Truly, it was not right. So I really pray the coach should really focus on his team so that they can do more better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for contributing, sir. Macdella, do you see your contribution?
All right. Je pense effectivement que Choupo-Moting et Vincent Aboubakar peuvent être au stade au même moment et puis que le jeu aille.
I think if the coach
who would they substitute for Choupo-Moting and Aboubakar?
Now, if we can play the 4-4-2.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Morning. Yes.
Can we have your name, please?
Your name, please, and where you are calling us from.
This is Mr. Desmond from Kumba.
Yes. Your contributions, please.
My contribution is that Mr. Ngobel's son should go back to the drawing board to see those key players who are supposed to represent Cameroon. For example, Choupo-Moting and Aboubakar. That's my point of view. Choupo-Moting should play 90 minutes as he has been doing in Bayern, rather than Vincent Aboubakar. Vincent Aboubakar is not up to the standard of World Cup. Yeah, he's meant for the Nations Cup. That's my humble contribution. Thank you.
Any hopes for the Lions?
Come again?
Any hope for the Lions?
No.
Vous n'avez pas espoir pour le prochain match des Lions indomptables?
Yes, we lost the caller.
On voit déjà là, Macdella,
so
un peu de déception.
Many people are only complaining about the coach, that what the coach did yesterday was not right. The playing style of the Lions seems to be okay.
Lasha, we cannot overlook what, or we cannot underlook what actually.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning. This is Mr. Manuel from Emmanuel.
Yes, your contributions, please.
Yeah, what I can say concerning football Cameroon nowadays.
Right on.
Yeah, it's not what I can see is the team they need some seriousness. Because those who were playing in the 90s, the 80s and 90s, they were ready to die for their country. You saw their playing style, you saw how they were playing. They were ready to die for their country, you know. This we are talking about these are taxpayer money that we
Are you saying that the Lions did not really fight yesterday? The fighting spirit was not there?
They fought. Yeah. But I don't know what happened during the second half, you know. And please, I just want to remind you something. Draw your memory back to the 80s and 90s. You see how the guys who were playing at that time, they were doing. Is it the same thing they are doing now? They are not really football. We need real seriousness. Those who can die for taxpayer money, those who can die for what the things that they know that their loved one have behind, you know, because company can have high tension fevers because of these guys. And they have to know this. Let them do all link on all efforts to defend it. So when they come back home now, we'll give them up more higher. and we have more pride. What I'm saying is seriousness. They have to be serious, really serious, my brother.
Any hope for the Indomitable Lions again? As they take...
Big hope, very big hope, you know. If only they can let them bring their memories back in the 80s and 90s and copy something from that time, you know, and implement it now, we'll succeed.
Okay, thank you for contributing, sir.
Yes, sir.
Macdella.
Gladys, you were trying to ask a question.
Effectivement, j'étais en train de te poser la question de savoir, mais apparemment, en écoutant tous nos participants ce matin, on a l'impression qu'il n'y a pas véritablement l'espoir en ce qui concerne le prochain match.
No, il y a l'espoir.
Okay.
We saw the game yesterday, Brazil versus Serbia, and we know that if we can assess all the opponents of Group G, we will see that Serbia and Brazil are tipped favorite in that group. But then Cameroon, like I said, is not the last on the pool. They stand a chance. It's definitely going to be a do or die affair between Cameroon now and Serbia, because they are the ones who have no points. And Serbia is definitely coming into that game in search of 3 points. Yeah. Cameroon too will be going into that game in search of 3 points. So it's definitely going to be a hard-fought battle. But then, it's definitely going to be a hard-fought battle. But then, I think that the Lions still has what it takes to go or to defeat Serbia, but that's only if and only if, like the callers have said, if we go back to the drawing board and see how we can amend the ways. At the back line, Cameroon has always have a problem at the defense line. And like the other caller said, we should avoid taking the ball behind.
Yes.
All right.
Hello.
Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, please.
Yes. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Malam Amadou calling from my top one of the Komori gateway down to Limbe.
Okay. Your contributions, please.
Yeah, the performance of the Lions yesterday was not very bad. If you watch the first half of the match, they did their best. But before the match, if you listen to the interview of this other young man, Castelletto, he said he had been playing with Michael Gandhi, and now this other Kulu was brought in. So he's still studying how to play the defense with Kulu, which was a very bad thing, because he has been playing all around with Michael Gandhi. They are very used to themselves. If you look at the goal that was scored yesterday, it was because of the position of the 5 and 4. And they almost scored another second goal again. If that Castelletto
did not remove the ball,
maybe when Castelletto did not attack and that ball hit the lap and went out, they almost scored another goal. So now, please, we have to be very careful, because coming up to the next match, that there is way forward for the Lions. It all depends on the lineup the coach is going to put. Take, for example, yesterday they removed Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting is a very good attacker. He has been playing for his team by one of the biggest teams in this world for 90 minutes. But he was changed yesterday. Abubakar was brought. Abubakar is a good footballer, but if you watch, the midfielders were not giving the ball to Abubakar. You see, the midfielders were not there to supply Abubakar with the ball. It is very good that Abubakar can still play the attack line with Choupo-Moting. Okay, but before that match of yesterday, if you saw it, there was complex with the national team as a whole, because they were playing that system of Kunde Emmanuel and Kono Thomas, that you give back pass, Kono Thomas dive on the ball and sleep on it for about 5 minutes before he gets up again and kick the ball. So, because football nowadays, if you want to win the match, you have to attack. But they were playing jump, keeping goalkeeper, defender. So they had complex within them. That complex should no more be there. Let them take that. They are all players of the same national team. Those who are players of the same another national team, they too can win the match. If you put victory in front of you before going for the match, you're going to make it please.
So they see who for the Indomitable Lions.
11 players in that field. We are proud of our Lions. They too can make it. There is hope for the next match.
Okay.
Let the coach work well with the boys and know that he has gone with 26 players.
not a level player. And when the coach is making his changes, let him be very careful with the kind of change he's making. Abubakar, Choupo-Moting at the attack line. I was even thinking that at that moment we have just one playmaker in that team, Mbatogong. Despite his age, he has force. You see now, he can make 1-2 dribbling and pass the ball to whom can shoot very fast to the pole. If you watch the first half of that match yesterday, was because we do not have good shooters. If there was a playmaker who can do 1, 2, 3 and pass the ball to someone like Choupo-Moting who can shoot directly, Abubakar is also a good shooter. Let us use all our attackers. We are going to score goals. We are not going to draw matches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for contributing, Macdella.
I'm so impressed with that contribution because he actually hit the point. He hit the nail on the iron on the nail. Honestly, that's a good contribution coming in from that man because if you realize yesterday, Andre Onana was the one who even came out and was playing the center defense, meaning that we needed probably Kulu did his best, but we needed somebody who is way younger. Let's take the call first.
Yes, let's take the call. Hello. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Oui, bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur. Oui, vous êtes en direct sur My Media Prime Télévision.
Oui, merci. Je vous appelle depuis l'occasion de Macdella.
Oui. Votre contribution.
Oui, je voudrais dire précisément que nous ne pouvons pas avoir l'un des meilleurs buteurs du championnat belge et le laisser au banc de touche. Je pense que premièrement, nous devons jouer en 4-4-2. C'est le 4-4-2 qui nous a toujours donné beaucoup de victoires et de titres. Moi, je ne comprends pas les autres côtés. Je pense que pour moi, Debossin, qui est en même temps très défensif et offensif, qui peut jouer à la place de nous pour permettre à ce que le petit gauche puisse véritablement apporter sur le plan au comité. Alors, Toko hier était fatigué, il était temps de vite le changer, c'est-à-dire de vite mettre quelqu'un je n'ai pas compris. Si on met des beaux échappés, et puis Sauveur Wo qui est prêt, moi je pense que Wo est mieux par rapport à un coup de a déféré en terre, mais coup de terre. Ils sont les deux gars de on a mettez Wo avec Christain que vous allez voir la magie. Maintenant, lui, il a fini le match pour moi. Sortait hier, ça, moi je ne comprends pas. Pour ce là était nageur. Si Olivier n'est pas disponible, mettez le jeune comme vous avez pris ici à Colombe.
Oui.
Moi, je vois qu'il est plus défensif, même il a même des bons positionnements par rapport à Oumoué. Là où là, il n'est pas venu. Choupo en 10, il s'en met en 9. Toko de côté qui peut être remplacé par un coup de Diamanti et Zambo pourra maintenant se donner à 100% pour le plan offensif. Avec un Gomo de l'autre côté à droite. Et maintenant en défense, là, à un moment donné, Paipoli a déjà un carton jaune. Et il ne peut plus donner à 100%. Et sur le plan offensif, Paille n'est pas très bon par rapport à Moussé Maïdi. Donc je pense que à ce niveau-là, si on fait certains recul là, il y a encore des espoirs, mais la Serbie est une équipe très vicieuse à jouer, très vicieuse. Les gars ne lâchent rien. Et comme ils sont blessés là par rapport à leur défaite hier, là, ils viennent donc pour nous tuer une fois. Donc il faudra vraiment que les gars aillent faire le ballon. Et que les gars attaquent. Parce que les passes en retraite, le gardien, ça fatigue même le gardien à un moment donné. Bon, voilà. Je pense qu'il
mais peut-être c'est parce que c'était fermé. Peut-être parce que c'était fermé devant.
Oui, c'était fermé. Je ne suis pas con. C'était fermé. Qui doit ouvrir? Si c'est fermé devant, on met les attaquants. Hier, Rigo devait passer déjà en 4-4-2. Mais il a mesuré son thème de jeu là qui n'a rien apporté.
Ok.
On se permet devant, mais il y a des personnes qui peuvent ouvrir. J'aurais préféré même hier qu'ils mettent Gamma 2 à la place de Tebong pour que Zambo puisse s'exprimer sur le plan offensif et ouvrir le débat.
Ok. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup pour votre contribution, monsieur. Merci.
Merci.
Thank you.
C'est moi qui vous remercie de m'avoir permis de m'exprimer.
Okay, Macdella.
Like,
Almost everybody is saying the same thing.
Exactly, and even like my panelists said here yesterday on Qatar Prime, everyone said Mumingamale was a better starting option than Toko Ekambi, because we know the kind of player Mumingamale play. He's a swift player, he's an offensive player, and we needed him to do the runs at the wing, not Toko Ekambi. We saw Toko Ekambi's performance yesterday.
Hello?
Is that
Mumingamale that is 21?
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
Your contribution, sir.
Yes, I am similar. Yeah, good morning.
No, your lines are not the best, sir. Please, we are sorry. We have to drop you. Thank you. Yes, move on with what you were saying, Macdella.
All right, I was trying to say that we know that Mumingamale is more offensive, and he was a better starting option. Toko Ekambi is not bad, but watching the game yesterday, he was really below average, and Mumingamale was a better starting option. Now, this other person who said Abubakar can partner with Choupo-Moting. 4-4-2 is not a bad formation, but maybe we saw yesterday that Umgwet did not play his role. He did not play his role, and Martin Hongla, who actually was brought in to start the game at the midfield, he was trying to play more offensive, and when he plays offensive, he finds it difficult to come back. And even the Zambo and Gisa were counting. Zambo and Gisa played very well in the first half, that's true. We cannot deny that fact. But even the Zambo and Gisa were counting on yesterday was playing more defensive than offensive. We needed him to distribute the balls ahead, and he could not do it. Then we had Choupo-Moting, who was struggling to come and take the ball. Okay,
another caller on the line. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Your contributions, please.
Yes, I want to talk about the match.
Yes, we are talking football this morning. The game of yesterday.
I saw it was really good, and we know if they are all professionals, we should have known what to do. We should have known what to do, because the players, they are all professionals. But we were just playing as if we were testing our players. We were playing as if we were testing our players. And that's not how it was supposed to happen. And for the player that they call Molo in the land that's called the Cameroon side, I want to tell you, really Cameroon needs prayer. If you see after the goal, the places where the atmosphere was not as good, even the player himself was surprised. Really, Cameroon is the best country, but due to that, the shot that way, we need prayer. We need prayer in this country. If we really go down in prayer, everything will be possible, because with God, all things are possible.
Okay, thank you for contributing. Thank you, sir.
Work hard.
Thank you.
And try to see how to put things in order. And we should know who is who to play here and there. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Macdella, more contributions coming in.
Yeah, exactly. And like this person, if you notice, Mr. Lasha, or rather, all those persons are calling and saying one and the same thing, which
means that the problem was the coach.
Exactly. The coach's substitution yesterday was not the best. So many people think that he would have left Choupo-Moting because...
Another caller. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, this is Sonny Okoso from Boya.
Of course, right on your contributions.
Okay, to me, I think that the strategy of that match was more defensive, which was not what we needed in a match of that caliber. Because then withdrawing a player of the caliber of Choupo-Moting in the competition of that time was not the best decision the coach did. At least he could have used Choupo-Moting and Abubakar, because at that moment we needed goals, not defending. So I think there is still hope if the coach re-strategizes and put that Choupo-Moting has been playing 90 minutes with Bayern, a team which is rated at a very high position. So we cannot go for World Cup. Then when the match is heated, when much of his input, they are withdrawing him. It was not a good strategy on the side of the coach. But there is still hope if the coach has to re-strategize and think better.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for contributing. Adela, we have basically 5 minutes to go on the program. So what should the Lions do so that they will grab that 3 points?
Well, I think that Cameroon, if Cameroon is coming into this next game, they need to put at the back of their mind that they will be playing against a team who is hungry to get the other 3 points as well. A caller.
That's our last caller for the day. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Your contributions, please.
Yes, my contributions.
First of all, tell us where you're calling. Your name. Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
Put on reserve bench. And then, hello?
Yes, I said your name.
Bomotonguina is the best player. He should never be put on the reserve bench.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your point. You have made your point. Thank you. He's so much intrigued. He doesn't even want to tell us where he's calling us from. Chupumuti is so much concerned with Chupumuti.
But then probably the caller did not really refer to it because Chupumuti was not on the bench. Chupumuti actually started the game yesterday.
No, but when he said putting Chupumuti on the bench,
probably he meant he didn't want Chupo to be substituted.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Thank you. This is Pastor Donna from Baki.
Your contributions, please.
Yes. In our call yesterday, there are 2 observations. The first one is that the players were not tactful to get to the ball with their friends. They always give the pass and they will stand and then allow the person to struggle alone. That is the kind of character they adopted during the second half. And it became problematic to someone to take the ball and push it forward alone. And then the second thing is that I don't see the reason why they should be comparing Abubakar and Supu, because these players are 2 different people. Supu can go behind and take the ball and then come in front or penetrate and distribute. And so he is a stable player that knows how to control the ball. But Abubakar is someone who stands and waits the ball until it is given to him. So the coach can play the 2 players. He can give Kukumote the 10 sheet, who will be playing understandably with Abubakar if Abubakar must play, and then make sure that the Kukumote remains around the box. And then when it's going behind, he goes with an intention that he's playing in front. I think the 2 players can play. I think they go by that way. In our next match, we will have good results than what we had yesterday.
Okay, thank you for contributing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Macdella, your last words.
Mr.
Our lines are closed, eh? We close our lines. Now
all right,
the time is
Lasha, all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost because Cameroon still has a chance to cross past the group stage. They can still qualify with 6 points. Nobody knows. Like I said, there's Japan who has beaten Germany. We have Saudi Arabia who has beaten heavyweights like Argentina. And Cameroon can still do something against Brazil.
À la fin, Macdella, le Cameroun doit prendre cette coupe.
C'est 6 points. You expecting we'll beat Brazil?
Of course they can. Cameroon has 2 chances.
Le Cameroun va prendre cette coupe.
We go take
everybody
the
has hope. From the contributions, no hope is lost. As we speak now, everybody is still very confident.
Exactly, everybody is still confident because if we talk about if Cameroon can beat Serbia, Serbia can beat
the Lions did play yesterday.
They played a very good game yesterday, and because they have lost that game, they are definitely going to ensure that they roar in the second game. So there is still hope. We go take the cup.
You are going to take that cup for sure.
Thank you, Macdella, for coming. Thank you
to pleasure.
viewers of Macdella Prime TV for watching this other edition of the program, which was dedicated exclusively to the review of the match of yesterday and what needs to be done for the Indomitable Lions to grab the next, the 3 points in the next match that they will play against Serbia. Thank you for watching. Of course, the program was produced by Christain Tebong. Gwladys Bomotonguina was here with me for the presentation. Macdella Eyong, our sports lady, equally joined us. Wishing you a happy weekend. Monday is another day. Bye-bye.